In this lesson, we'll be looking at analytical geometry. Here's an extract from a previous question paper. The question says, triangle TSK is drawn. The equation of ST is y equal to 1 over 2x plus 6, and ST cuts the x-axis at M. W lies on ST and R lies on SK, such that WR is parallel to the y-axis. WK cuts the x-axis at V and the y-axis at P. KS produced cuts the x-axis at N. T angle SK equal to theta. T angle SK equal to theta. We can see theta. We can see theta. Calculate the gradient of WP. To find the gradient of a line, it is either we have at least two coordinates on that particular line where we are requested to find the gradient thereof. It is either we have two coordinates on that line wherewith we are requested to find the gradient thereof, or we'll have to have an angle formed by the line and the x-axis. It is either you have the angle formed by the line and the x-axis, or you have two coordinates on that particular line. Okay, in this case, we have two coordinates. We have two coordinates being W and P. To find the gradient, we say change in y values, or the difference in y values. One can say delta y over delta x is the difference in x value, in y values, over the difference in x values. So we have the y value here as 4, we have the y value here as -4, we have the y value, the x value as -4, we have the x value here as 0. So we can plug it in our equation or in our formula to say 4 minus -4, or the gradient of WP will be equal to 4 minus -4 all over -4 minus 0. The change or the difference in y values over the difference in x values. So 4 minus -4 will give us +8. -4 minus 0 will give us -4. So we'll have the gradient will be equal to 8 over -4. 8 over -4. And 4 goes into 8 two times. Do not forget the negative. So it's 4 into 8, which is 2. And then do not forget that 4 is negative, it's not positive. So do not forget the negative. So the gradient of WP is equal to -2. You are done. Okay, let's proceed. Show that WP is perpendicular to ST. When they say WP is perpendicular to SK, they simply mean that where these two lines meet, they give us a 90-degree angle. Where these two lines meet, they give us a 90-degree angle. So how are we going to show that this angle, which is TWV, angle TWV equal to 90 degrees, or angle MWV equal to 90 degrees? How are we going to show that? In triangle MWV, we can find the angle M, we can find the angle V. How are we going to do that? We have the equation of ST. We have the equation of ST, which is given y equal to 1 over 2x plus 6. So to find this angle, to find angle M in triangle MWV, to find this angle, we can say the tangent of the angle is equal to the gradient. Then we say arctan the gradient. So we are going to say arctan the gradient, which is 1 over 2. Arctan the gradient, which is 1 over 2, which is 26.565051118. Then from here we are going to find angle V in this triangle. In this particular triangle, we are going to find angle V. In this particular triangle MWV, we are going to find angle V. Remember that we calculated the gradient of WP and it gave us -2. But to find the interior angle in this triangle, we are going to disregard the negative. We are going to go through the same thing that we did with angle M, but we are going to disregard the negative. So it will be shift tan 2, and then it will give us the interior angle in triangle MWV. So we found these two angles. Now what is left is to find these angle. What is left is to find this angle or this angle. One can say let me find M angle V, or let me find M angle WV. How are you going to do that? We know that sum of angles in a triangle or interior angles of a triangle are supplementary. So we can say W plus M plus V equal to 180 degrees. Well, we know the values of these two angles. Or we can simply sum those two angles up and then subtract them from 180 degrees to find the value of this angle. But at the same time, we know that this angle here being TWV is equal to angle M plus angle V. Why? It is an exterior angle of this triangle MWV. The exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of two interior opposite angles. So to find this angle, we can simply sum the angles that we got. We can simply sum them up to find that angle. It gives us 90 degrees. So you can see that that line is perpendicular to that line. Another one can say, hey, I don't want to be going through that to find the angles when it is out of 2. It is out of 2 marks. I don't want to be going through that. How can I do it? What is the simplest way of doing it? Okay, here is the simplest, the shortest way of doing it. The product of perpendicular, or the product of the gradient of perpendicular line is equal to -1. So we have the gradient of ST being 1 over 2. We're going to say 1 over 2 multiplied by the other gradient, which is -2. And 1 over 2 times -2 is the same as -2 all over 2. So -2 all over 2 will give us -1. So if we can multiply two gradients of a line and then they give you -1, you can conclude by saying those two lines are perpendicular to one another because the product of their gradients is equal to -1. So that's another way you can do it. Then you can say therefore ST, you can say therefore ST is perpendicular is perpendicular to the other line WP. Why? Because the product of their gradient is equal to -1. Let's proceed. If the equation of SK is given as 5y plus 2x plus 60 equal to 0. Calculate the coordinates of S. So we have the equation of SK, we have the equation of ST. We have the equation of SK, we have the equation of ST. The equation of ST is 1 over 2x plus 6. The equation of SK is 5y plus 2x plus 6. So I can simply say, let this equation be my equation 2, and then the other equation be my equation 1. From there I can say substitute equation 2 in equation 1. Substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So what will I have if I substitute equation 2 in equation 1? This is what I will have. I have 5y, which is 1 over 2x, 5y, 1 over 2x plus 6 plus 2x plus 60, which is equal to 0. So 5 times 1 over 2 will give us 5 over 2. Do not forget the x. We'll have 5 over 2x. 5 times 6 will give us 30, plus 30 plus 2x plus 60 equal to 0. Let's enter the like terms. 5 over 2x plus 2x will give us 9 over 2x. We'll have 9 over 2x plus 30 plus 60 will give us 90 equal to 0. So what I want to do here, I want to transpose 90 across. It was 90. When it crosses over, it changes the sign from being positive to being negative. Then from here I will divide throughout by 9 over 2. So we have negative 90 divided by 9 all over 2, which gives us negative 20. So the value of x will be equal to negative 20. So what is the value of y? Y equal to 1 over 2, 1 over 2x, 1 over 2x plus 6. So let's do it on a calculator. It will be negative 10 plus 6. What is negative 10 plus 6? Okay, 1 over 2 x plus 6, which is negative 4. And the value of y equal to negative 4. So the coordinates of S is negative 20. Let's quickly look at the next question, which says calculate the length of WR. Calculate the length of WR. For us to be able to find the length of this line, remember WR is drawn parallel to the y-axis. It's a vertical line. The equation of a vertical line is x. The equation of a vertical line is x equal to the x value, or the x coordinate, or the x value on that particular line. So we have the x coordinate on this line being equal to negative 4, meaning that at W we have x as negative 4, at R we have x as negative 4. What we do not have is the corresponding y value of R. Okay, how are we going to find the corresponding y value? We have the equation. SK is given as 5y plus 2x plus 6 equal to 0. We also have the equation of WK or of WR, because WR is a vertical line. The equation of WR will be x equal to -4. So where we see x in this equation, we are going to replace it by -4, because x on this line is equal to -4. Okay, so our answer will be 5y plus 2x, remember x equal to -4, plus 60 equal to 0, which will give us 5y, it will give us 5y minus 8. 2 times -4 will give us -8, plus 60 equal to 0. And -8 plus 60 is the same as 60 minus 8. 60 minus 8 will give us 52. 60 minus 8 will give us 52. So 5y, if we take 52 across, it will be equal to -52. So to find the value of y, we are going to divide both sides by 5. We are going to divide both sides by 5. So y will be equal to -52 over 5. The equation was saying, or the question was saying, determine the length of WR. So if you are finding the length, you disregard the negative. We are going to add the y value here, but we disregard the negative. So WR will be equal to 52 over 5 plus 4. 52 over 5 plus 4, let's do it on a calculator. It's 52 over 5 plus 4, which equal to 72 over 5. So that the distance of WR is 72 all over 5. That's your distance. The distance of WR is 72 over 5. Or maybe you can simple to decimal, which is 14.4. It's up to you. It's either you write it as 72 over 5 or 14.4. Okay, let's go to the next question. It says calculate the size of angle theta. Calculate this angle. Calculate this angle. So how we are going to go about it to calculate the angle? Remember that we have the equation of SK, which is 5y plus 2x plus 60 equal to 0. So 5y, we are going to rewrite that equation in the form y equal to mx plus c to find the gradient of the line. So 5y equal to -2x plus 60. Then we divide both sides by 5. We divide by 5. So 5 into 5 once, y equal to -2 all over 5x plus 60 divided by 5, which equal to 12 plus 12. Rather, it will be 5y equal to -2x minus 60, because 60 and 2 were positive. They cross the equal sign, they will change. So the equation in the form y equal to mx plus c will be -2 all over 5x minus 12. Y equal to -2 all over 5x minus 12. So how am I going to find this angle? Remember that we had this angle. We calculated this angle when we were proving that ST is perpendicular to WP. we have the value of this angle. And if you can check, this angle and this angle are equal. Why? They are vertically opposite angles. This angle and this angle are equal. They are vertically opposite angles. So in this triangle, I'm going to find this angle, and I'm going to find this angle. How am I going to find this angle? I have the gradient. I have the gradient of this line, which is the angle thereof is beta. So I will say shift tan -2 over 5 plus 180 degrees, because it's an obtuse angle, which gives me 158. It gives me 158 comma 1985905. That's beta. That's angle beta. That's angle beta. So to find the value of this angle, these two angles are angles on a straight line, or adjacent supplementary angles on a straight line. So to find this angle, I will subtract that angle. I will subtract that angle, or I will say 180 degrees. I will subtract that angle from 180 degrees. 180 degrees minus the angle to find the value of this angle, which I can round it off to 21.8. So this angle is 21.8. Let's find this angle. Let's find this angle. Remember that the gradient of this line is it's 1 over 2. Over 2, which gives me 26.565, of which, if I round it off to the nearest or to 2 decimal places, it will be 26.57. Now, what is theta? Theta is an exterior angle of triangle NSM. Theta is an exterior angle of triangle NSM. So what will be the value of theta? We'll say ans plus the previous answer, this angle plus this angle, plus or this angle plus this angle equal to theta, So theta in this case will be equal to 48.36646066, of which, if I round it off to 2 decimal places, it will be 48.37. So theta is 38.37. Theta is 38.37. Let's just write it down. Theta equal to 48.37. Or another one can say, let me first find angle S in triangle NSM. Let me find angle S in triangle NSM. Once you find S in triangle NSM, we know that interior angles of a triangle are supplementary. Once you find that angle, and S and theta are angles on a straight line, they add up to 180 degrees. So to find theta, you are going to say 180 degrees minus the value of that angle. It will still give you the same answer, 48.37 degrees. Okay, let's go to the last question. It says, let L be a point. Let L. Okay, let me just quickly give you an idea. Let L be a point in the third quadrant such that SWRL in that order forms a parallelogram. Calculate the area. Okay, let L be a point. So I'm going to draw a line parallel to SW. And at the same time, I'm going to draw a line parallel to I'm going to draw a line parallel to WR. So such where these two lines that I've drawn meet, they will give me the vertex L, or they will give me L. Okay, let L be in the third quadrant, such that SWRL is a parallelogram. Determine the area. Remember, if you have what do you call this thing? If you have a parallelogram, diagonals of a parallelogram bisect the area. Diagonals of a parallelogram, what do? They bisect the area. In this triangle, SWR, we have the angle that we just calculated. We have the angle being 48.37. But what we do not have is the length of SW, but we have the length of WR. We have the length of WR. We can simply find the length of SW. We can find the length of SW. Remember, we calculated the coordinates of S being -20 and -4. Let me quickly check. Yes, which is -20 and -4. So we can just plug what we have in the formula for calculating the distance. We have -4 minus -20 all squared plus 4 minus -4 all squared. Let's quickly do it on a calculator to see what is the distance. It's -4 minus -20 all squared plus 4 minus -4 all squared, which equal to 8√5. So SW equal to 8√5. Remember that WR we calculated it to be 72/5, and we have this angle being 48.37. To find the area, remember it's a parallelogram, and diagonals of a parallelogram bisect the area, meaning that it divides the area into two equal halves. So to find the area of this parallelogram, we'll have to find the area of one triangle, because this diagonal forms two triangles. We have to find the area of one triangle and multiply it by 2. So let's quickly find the area. The area will be 1/2. Yo. Let's quickly find the area. Okay, before we can find the area, if we are going to use the area rule, the angle that we are going to use is not supposed to be opposite the side that we are going to multiply with. It's not supposed to be opposite the side that we are going to multiply with. So we have this side here, of which we have to find its length. Remember that the coordinates of S is -20 and -4. The coordinates of R is -4 and -52/5. -52/5. So let's find the distance. It will be negative 20 minus negative 4 all squared plus negative 4 minus negative 52 over 5, negative 52 over 5 all squared, which gives us 16 root 9 root 29 over 5, 16 root 29 over 5. So to find the area of this triangle, we are going to say 1 over 2 multiplied by the side, multiplied by the other side, SW, and SW we found it to be 8 root 5 multiplied by 8 root 5 sine of this angle, which is 48.37, sine 48.37. So the area of this triangle is 115.21 if you round it off to 2 decimal places. So to find the area of the whole thing, we are going to say the area of this triangle time multiplied by 2, because diagonals bisect the area. So the area of SWRL is equal to 230.41. That's how you find the area. That is how you find the area. Diagonals bisect the area. So if diagonals bisect the area, then you can find the area. You can find the area by adding the two areas. You add the two areas, you find your area.